It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Yvette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These Jet Setting Divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hi, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina. And we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, it's so much going on in the news about travel.
Yeah,
oh
so much about travel. And COVID. I've heard that one of the airlines is requiring their employees some of them are requiring their employees to get vaccinated. And then other ones, I think it's Delta, that's requiring their employees to either get vaccinated or take a COVID test. So it's kind of getting to the point to where if you're not vaccinated, maybe you can't go nowhere.
I know.
That's crazy. United actually is requesting all of their employees to get vaccinated or you will be fired as of September.
Wow. I mean, I've been hearing it a lot. Even companies have said, if you plan to work there, you have to get vaccinated. Public service, people who are in, different service industries, they have to get a vaccination. And Jeanette, I know you were just talking about the people in the hospitals, what's going on with, what's going on there.
They showed on the news today down in San Antonio, there's no more beds left. And everyone except one person that's on the ventilator was not vaccinated. So what I would say, people is, please get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated.
I saw on the news where they were interviewing like some nurses and doctors, and they said people are coming in sick, really, really sick, begging for vaccinations now. Now that's just crazy. If you would have gotten that vaccination before, you wouldn't be in that position or having to go to a hospital and be suffering. This is crazy to me. I don't understand why people will not get vaccinated. I mean, we took vaccines and immunizations and stuff as a kid. So what is wrong with, getting this vaccine instead of getting to a point where you got to go to the hospital now because now you're sick.
But even you see concert, even people, all the performers, they are actually having tables where people can get vaccinated on the spot at concerts and different venues. I was surprised to see that you could literally just walk up like we were getting our COVID testing and you can get vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated, you can get vaccinated because they're, it's just amazing that people are still trying to go places and they're not vaccinated.
And what I saw, so I went recently I started getting back out because I'm sick of being in the house after being on COVID lockdown for a year plus. And I went to a Babyface concert and they didn't require vaccination. Babyface Kim here in Dallas and Irving, they didn't require vaccination, but I did hear a lot of the white concerts. The white performers, they are requiring vaccination to even get in. And many restaurants have started requiring. Yvette, have you heard about any place? I think New York is requiring a vaccination card to get in restaurants.
Yeah. And what about that congresswoman who said that Black people were the reason why COVID was spreading? It said the unvaccinated Black people, and she was Black, which is crazy.
But did you know there is a lot of Black people that are unvaccinated? That it is, and what I would say for every Black person is talk to people in your family, because my brother, he wouldn't get vaccinated, and me and my mother, we worked on him, and I told we kind of was bringing him along, and then I finally told him, if you don't get vaccinated, you're not going to be able to come inside for 4th of July for our gathering because everybody else vaccinated. So.
Yeah, but a lot of it kind of stems back to, for blacks in America, they've been experiments. So people do have some pains and some hurts from previous years that have really, really impacted why they get vaccinations. We even hear about, some conditions that happen, over the course of time. And, we've talked to other people that, feel like when their kids got vaccinated, then they, were exposed to other, disabilities or learning disabilities. So I definitely understand that people have some angst about, getting vaccinated, but, for adults who've been on this earth and, you made it through, get vaccinated.
How do you know that is the cause though? How do you
know?
How do you know?
You don't know. You don't know. So you can just blame it on that.
Yeah, we can blame it on the environment. We can blame a lot of stuff, on, things that, happen in life. So I'm like, we don't know. So you just, your assumption is, if you know you can live with a vaccination, don't get in the hospital half dying and then trying to say, I want to be vaccinated.
Right. Because now you can't get it.
Yvette, do you think unvaccinated people should be able to travel? I mean, I know a lot of countries that I've looked at into going to next year. I know Europe, they're requiring a vaccination card, and they may require that we make it to the point where we require a vaccination passport.
Yeah,
I think airlines should start asking people, you got to show proof of a vaccine before you get on their airplanes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I don't think you should be traveling if you're not vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're exposing, other people that's trying to do right.
Yeah. And they have too many large events. Football season is starting, basketball season. They are filling these stadiums. I was just at the Texans and the Cowboy game, and it was to full capacity. And I had my mask on, and people had masks on, which was really, really good. But you don't know who, once you sit in the seat, who next to you actually is vaccinated. And they didn't check anything. Literally, I bought a ticket, so cheap. That the stadium was packed. It was a preseason game, so I can only imagine what the rest of the season is going to look like.
Right.
So Tina, I wonder, did you said you didn't know whether anybody, you can't tell whether people don't want to tell you the truth if they're really vaccinated or not. So you're just and you said it was packed. You said
it was packed.
And they didn't require. Did they require a mask? Okay, they didn't even require a mask.
I mean, because there were people walking around with no mask. There were people, but a lot of the people who were working there, they had masks on. Of course, they wear it halfway. The nose all exposed.
Well, that's no mask.
Right.
So what's the point?
That's the purpose.
Yeah,
but then, you just never really know who's vaccinated.
Right.
It's crazy things going on now with travel and with COVID and just with people trying to figure things out. We thought we were going to get out of it this year, but now we're back in it and people are scared, and this Delta variant spreads easier than the other variants. So
and I was just even speaking to counterparts with work that are in Singapore and they're in other countries, India. It is really bad. They are like, it's almost like a restart for them. They have family members and co-workers and people who are like hospitalized, and they're saying it's the adults, not the children in a lot of the other countries. And it's just amazing, what's been going on with, around the world. We're still in it.
Yeah, we are still in it.
Still in it. Yeah, and I was also telling y'all, my daughter was just traveling this weekend. Actually, she was just traveling this week, and she had her dog, and
how are the pet people traveling during?
And I would have to say that, of course, she's wears her mask and everything, but she was on a plane and leaving the plane, going home, and a flight attendant stopped her and said, "Hey, did you pay for that dog?" And they were trying to get her to pay. You're home. They're trying to get her to pay for dog. Those are things that they should check right off the bat. I'm like, nobody checked.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll tell you how to travel with your pets. So all those pet lovers, will tell you how to travel with your pets. And the requirements you have to, the thing about it with your pets, I've even heard on TV pets have gotten COVID. So. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, what I was really thinking was, if you are not even checking to see if people are bringing animals on a plane, are you really caring about if they have a vaccine? I just kind of feel it was real laissez-faire that they were not observant, because you should be looking to see somebody coughing. Do they have not just that they have their mask on? Are they looking sick? Their eyes red? Are they looking like they possibly may be?
But granted, right now, everybody's fighting on the planes.
Yes, I mean so much.
They coming on there. They done went and got a training class on the side where they can learn how to self-defense. And then they can
I saw that. I saw on the news today. I think it was today, somewhere here in Dallas, where they were training flight attendants to fight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was on the news today.
Flight attendants, and actually, I feel sorry for them now. And I even thought about doing that back when I was in college. I thought about leaving college and going to work for Southwest. They were in Little Rock, but I'm glad that I didn't because I like traveling more leisurely than as a career. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That it's kind of becoming like a teacher. It's like, you know, you may have a passion and a love for it, but you know, is it safe? Is it, you know, there's a lot of things you need to consider. Because I'd have to say that, you know, we've heard things. They're duct taping people. They're, you know, putting them in all these like, you know, suspension ties so they can't, because people are just acting, you know, erratically.
But that's why they're doing it, because people are acting crazy. And I think we're in a culture now where people feel like they can do whatever if they don't feel they don't like something, especially coming out of COVID. The aggression is built up, and people are just ready to fight. So. Ladies, how do you travel safely? Yvette, what's your suggestions for people traveling safely?
Well, they already require you to have a mask. You need to have a vaccine. You have to wear a mask. You need to, I clean up my area, you know.
Exactly.
To sit down, wipe down that tray, because you don't know what they've actually really done. But of course, you know, it's probably best to wear an N95 mask, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, not those cloth,
you're vaccinated.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, you know, when you are traveling, you know, it's kind of like driving. You know, they say defensive driving. You need to be defensive traveling. You need to worry about you protecting yourself to protect others, and regardless if they're doing their part, if you're protecting yourself, you know, wearing the appropriate kind of mask appropriately, you know, like Yvette said, be vaccinated.
Oh,
yeah, and just
did y'all see this? Did y'all see this where this lady lit a cigarette up on the plane?
No, I did not.
Is she the one who got they caught her afterwards? E-cigarette or
She lit a cigarette on the plane, and then the marshals. I think the plane was still hadn't gone anywhere yet. They came and made her get off.
Okay,
people are flying.
People are cuckoo.
This is crazy.
Another thing, Yvette, I know you have a second trip planned for Hawaii in the upcoming month, or maybe next month. But I see that Hawaii's they're saying don't come there.
Yeah, they're asking.
COVID is going crazy there.
They're asking people they saying just don't come. Shut down your place then if you don't want anybody to go there.
But my question is, what incentives are they offering for you giving up your trip? Because you were going to go on a trip, especially a family trip that with your mom that you would never be able to forget. You know, so what incentives are they doing?
There's no incentive.
And what about insurance? I mean, did you guys? I mean, what about insurance? Are you going to be able to?
Everything is insured.
Yeah. Okay. And that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Hopefully everything is insured and you can just go at another time. But you know, their economy. You know, again, we're going into this. You know, peaks and valley with the economy. You know, you know, the moratorium on people who are paying rent, and that is all in flux. Unemployment. So it's just so many things that now we're kind of either they're getting rid of it, but now it's not a time. And now if states have to go back on lockdown, then. I guess we'll have to see.
It's a crazy time now with life and with travel. It really is. And just trying to figure out how to do it amongst COVID. And we thought we'd be over with it, and we're not over with it. So, ladies, you got some final words to say about how to travel safely during this crazy environment that we're living in?
Every week is something different.
Every week is something different. And all I can say is if you find an inexpensive flight, just be prepared, because I do see those flights are soaring. I mean, places that you would normally go to that have been reasonable, they're asking for way too much money. So, but I would just say travel safe, and what, look up wherever you're going, make sure you know the rules before you get there.
Right. Right.
What about you, Yvette? What do you think? What should people do now to travel safely as a final recap?
I mean, just make sure that, just like I said before, make sure you're vaccinated.
Absolutely.
Make sure you look up the wherever you're going, whether it's domestic or national. Look up the rules. Some places are requiring you to be to present a negative COVID test prior to coming to their places. I mean, there are all kind of rules out there. So wherever you're going, you need to look up and make sure that you have everything done and prepared in order to go and enjoy your trip.
And what about you, Jay?
Well, for me, what I'm doing, number one, I got vaccinated. And then number two, like just what Yvette was saying, that I know I've got a couple upcoming trips coming. The one we all have together is to Turks and Caicos. And so I'm looking at what we need to have and getting a negative COVID test and just everything we need to do. Insurance, because you don't want to spend all this money on a trip and not be able to go. Yeah, insurance. We used to didn't get insurance because you would always be able to go. But now with travel, it's very important that you have insurance just so we don't lose money, and especially for somebody who may have been on a tight, but luckily we might have a few dollars. If we lose it, it's not going to affect our rent. But if somebody is really struggling and they lose that money, it really might affect their lives. So the insurance is more important now.
Yeah. And make sure you have the right insurance.
Yeah. Well, ladies, it was great talking to you today about travel and about being safe and about the crazy thing that's going on with COVID.
Yes.
Well, this is Jeanette.
And this is Yvette.
And this is Tina. And we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Everybody stay safe, travel safe, look up the areas that you're going, be aware of what is required, and go to the Jet Setting Divas social media and follow us.
And listen to us on YouTube and watch us.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShelettaMakesMeLaugh.com.